All right, today we are diving deep into something truly special, a mysterious and incredibly influential collection of ancient texts called the Corpus Hermeticum.
So this collection of writings, which is said to come from this legendary figure, Hermes Trismegistus, well, it gets right to the point. It's all about pushing us to look past what we can see and touch, to tackle the biggest questions out there. What is God? What is this universe? And maybe most importantly, who are we really?
Okay, let's get into it. The first thing you've got to grasp to really get the Hermetic worldview is its vision of the cosmos. And trust me, it's pretty breathtaking.
So at the very, very top of everything, there's this single source. Now don't think of it as a person with a beard on a throne. It's more like the absolute principle of goodness itself. It's where all of reality just flows from. The texts call it the Father of all beings, the pure essence of life and light. And from that one source, the universe kind of unfolds in this incredible divine cascade. It's this beautiful, orderly chain of creation. You see how it works? God creates eternity. Then eternity creates the world. The world makes time, and time leads to, well, becoming. Everything constantly changing and evolving. It all just flows down, seamlessly, from the highest uncreated point to, well, to us.
Now this is a really key idea. You see that word, Noùs? It basically means the divine mind. You can think of it as the consciousness or the intellect of God. It's like this spiritual fabric that connects the absolute highest God all the way down to the very matter of our world. It flows through the soul, connecting everything.
Okay, so now that we've got the cosmic stage set, the text lays out this absolutely beautiful and kind of tragic story about where we, humanity, came from.
So get this, the very first human, they call him Anthropos, wasn't sculpted from dust or clay. No, this being was made of pure light and life, a direct child of God. And God loved this creation, it says, as his own child, because it was a perfect mirror image of the divine.
So this divine being, this Anthropos, starts to descend through the cosmos, looking at all the wonders of creation, all the celestial powers, and he gets this desire. He wants to create something himself. And the Father God is like, go for it.
And this is where the whole story hinges. It's the core myth. You see, humanity's fall wasn't about sin or disobedience. It was an act of love. This divine being sees its own reflection in the material world, in nature, and just falls completely in love with it. He falls in love with his own image.
And nature, in turn, receives her lover, embraces him completely, and they become one. And in that union, that's when the divine gets tangled up with the physical. That beautiful moment of love is the very reason for the human condition we all feel right now.
But that cosmic love story, well, it has a massive consequence. It's the root of the central conflict that every single one of us feels inside. And here's the crucial point. It means we are all double beings. Think about it. Part of you is this divine, immortal soul, but it's living inside a mortal physical body. So we're immortal in our true essence, right? But totally mortal in our physical form, subject to all the limitations and destiny of this world.
The text gets pretty intense here. It calls the body and our physical senses a garment of ignorance, or even a prison that traps the soul. It's this entanglement that makes us forget where we really came from. We start thinking the prison is our actual home.
And this prison, it has bars. The text calls them the 12 chastenings, or, even better, tormentors. These are all those negative passions that bubble up from our physical nature. You see them here: greed, anger, envy. These are the very forces that keep our souls locked up in darkness.
Okay, so it sounds a bit bleak, right? Trapped in a prison of our own making. But here's the good news. The Corpus Hermeticum doesn't just describe the prison. It gives us the key to get out.
And that key has a name: Gnosis. It's a Greek word for knowledge. But, and this is super important, we're not talking about book smarts or memorizing facts. Gnosis is a direct, intuitive, spiritual knowing. It's that lightning bolt moment of inner awakening when your soul finally remembers what it really is.
So as that gnosis, that true knowing, starts to dawn on you, something amazing happens. 10 divine powers come flooding into your soul. And these powers, things like truth, joy, and light, they literally drive out those 12 tormentors we just talked about. This is what kicks off a total spiritual rebirth, a transformation from the inside out.
The text uses this beautiful metaphor for how this works. It says that God sent down a crater, like a giant mixing bowl, and filled it with the divine mind, with that Noùs we mentioned earlier. And here's the best part, it's available to everybody.
So the invitation in the text is crystal clear. Immerse yourselves in this crater. It's asking us to metaphorically bathe in this divine consciousness. By turning our attention inward, we can purify ourselves and achieve that spiritual rebirth, becoming whole, complete beings who finally get who we really are.
Okay, so after all of that, the big question is, how? How do you actually start this journey back to where you came from? Well, the text is actually super clear about it.
The path is simply self-knowledge. It all starts with remembering, and I mean really knowing deep down that your truest essence is made of the exact same stuff as God, life and light. Just that act of knowing, that's the first step. That's what starts the journey home.
And we're going to leave you with this final mind-blowing thought. The ultimate message here isn't just about knowing God. It's a call to become like God. It's a message of absolutely incredible human potential. By expanding your own consciousness, by growing to encompass everything, you finally understand the all. Because as the text says, only the like understands the like.